And in one way, that's such a rash shot from Gonzalez, but in another way, it never really allows his opponents to ever feel comfortable, to have a rhythm. They're not quite sure what's coming. Never quite as comfortable being the aggressor on the court, and I suppose that is the problem that Gonzalez poses for Murray, because he can do both things so well. He can defend well, but he also can attack. Just like that.
Yeah, and no doubt that's what Larry Stefanki was trying to get across to Fernando Gonzalez, or has been trying to get across, is that just the threat of this shot is a huge weapon. You don't actually have to hit it every time, but it forces errors from your opponent.
Important game for Murray to get on the board here. He was 40-15 up in his opening service game. He does hold on, and again a cagey little rally there. Both players enjoying it, as are we. But it's Gonzalez who's in front early on, 2-1. It's a fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if this match, or this court rather, wasn't completely packed at some point. What a great atmosphere it lends when that's the case.
15.
That's an awkward serve. When Gonzalez goes wide and hits the kick out wide, you really have very little space to hit an aggressive shot into.
It'll be interesting to see how often Murray can also drag Gonzalez into the net, because clearly you feel if he gets it low enough and he can get Gonzalez coming in, then he's favourite for those types of points. That's neatly done from Murray. Gonzalez asked him the question that time, do you want to take this ball on?
15-13.
Yeah, and from that position, Andy Murray perfectly happy to attack.
So Gonzalez's good work in the opening couple of games could be undone here. Murray with a couple of break points.
Left.
Neat finish from Gonzalez.
And I get the sense that that is the sort of point that we really have only seen since Larry Stefanki came on board. See him seeing that Murray was perhaps in a little bit of trouble, going to play a defensive shot, ghosting in very quickly.
Gonzalez won't like it, but it was wide, and Murray breaks back.
2 games on. First set.
And this is the new, more restrained Fernando Gonzalez, because he had certainly a couple of opportunities there to whack forehands, but more reticent to do that. Time will tell whether this new tactic will lead him where he wants to go.
Wow.
That's the old Gonzo.
And no amount of planning, strategy, tactics, whatever you want to call them, is going to be able to blunt that type of shot. Done it again. Right play from Murray, I felt.
Well, yeah, all except this high forehand volley. But did you teach him this, Petch? I mean, that's a smash. Come on, hit it. Get up there and hit it.
You know all the bad shots was what I brought to the table. You don't need to ask the question.
That's probably true. Okay, well, he learns quick anyway.
15-30.
Tremendous get from Murray. And again, it's that innate ability to sort of put back a shot that's not always that easy to put away.
Exactly. Murray up there with Nadal in terms of his ability to put the ball back into an awkward position out of very difficult circumstances.
Clearly disappointed with that missed shot, and here's Gonzalez with an opportunity to restore his break. Well, that's the same way he dropped his opening service game, and it's in a disappointing manner. You can understand why he's taking it down the middle to stop that Gonzalez forehand from the Louis Armstrong Stadium.
Yeah, and I think the sooner the shadow does move fully across, the more happy Andy Murray will be.
And once again, there is evidence of the unique talent that Andy Murray has to be a great defender, but also to go on the attack. And so much of it, Pete, stems from that return of serve. Well, yes.
Murray returns serve as well as most anyone in the game, I'd say. Puts a lot of returns in play and occasionally hits the winner.
Strong play from Gonzalez. And like you said earlier, Murray doesn't always use his backhand down the line, but he doesn't always need to because it's the threat that keeps his opponents off balance.
Well, that return of serve was a bit tame.
Pretty fluctuating set so far, and here's 2 more break points for Murray. So many fascinating shots being played. Looped forehand, sliced backhand, 3/4 length, half court.
You can almost feel the tension in the air. And Murray very quickly reacted to missing that short ball.
Well, you've got to take the opportunities when they're given to you against a man like Gonzalez, who missed far too many first serves in that game.
Yeah, and this match, I think, will hinge on whoever establishes their serve first. We know Murray can break Gonzalez's serve. He has a wonderful return and probably the better player, just out of the hand on ground strokes. Can he establish his own serve?
There's no doubt that Murray's style of play can really get to players as well. It can frustrate them into errors. Gonzalez's shots at the moment just missing. Well, there was a slice forehand in there that was reminiscent of UK.
Well, exactly. You know, Raj Federer and I used to play a lot of squash together. Yeah. And perhaps Andy played a bit of it himself.
The umpire not going to overrule that, and Gonzalez now feeling as though there's something against him.
Net for serve.
Sweet finish to that game for Murray, who's handled the moment pretty well after trailing by a break twice already in this set. We're on.
15 love.
Well, it's easy to give yourself a hard time, but there is such a mixed bag coming from Gonzalez off his serve that it's not always easy to pick it up. And over the years, we've talked about the double-handers that have really been at the top of the men's game. Agassi, Safin, and certainly Andy Murray looks as though he's going to be up there with the elite. Chilean number 1 finding his range at last on that forehand side. Murray moves too well at the net for that type of attempted pass.
Yeah, and I think his body language must drive opponents to distraction, because he really looks like, I'm really not trying very hard against you. It's all very casual, isn't it? And yet so effective.
Brilliant point once again. Tactically astute and executed perfectly.
Yeah, and Gonzalez almost inviting Murray to come in. I mean, what is that? That's a lob almost. That might have worked in the 12 and unders, but certainly Andy Murray not afraid to come in and hit a dry volley.
Gonzalez finding his first serve. And you get the feeling that we might need to see a little bit more of the old Gonzalez if he's going to win this match. Now that the opening sort of exchanges have gone, Murray certainly seems though he has a nice feel for the tempo of the match.
And that'll be interesting to see if Gonzalez will revert to it. Whether Larry Stefanki will give him the freedom to do that.
Superb movement, and again the anticipation from Murray.
Well, yeah, you say anticipation, but I think really he anticipates the possibilities. But I think Murray was ready to cover any shot that could have hurt him there.
Well, Murray very unlucky with that take.
Murray questioning whether Gonzalez actually touched the net.
It was a risky play, wasn't it, by Gonzalez? Murray turning defense into attack.
Well, you know, it's clear right now that Andy Murray, a far more astute tactician than Gonzalez. If Gonzalez continues to play this cat and mouse type match with Murray, there's only one winner.
Oh, it's unlucky for Murray, and once again the tape helping out Gonzalez. And he's definitely electing to come in up the middle, isn't he, Gonzalez? Trying not to give Murray the angles.
Which is a wise move, really, because Murray's so adept conjuring angles from very awkward positions.
He won't mind Gonzalez trying those types of shots. It'll be very difficult to pull it off over 5 sets. The longest game in this set. And it's a 4th break point for Murray. I think the other thing, Pete, in this match where Gonzalez is troubled by Murray is that backhand up the line, because he can't cheat round on his own backhand to get his forehand into play, because he's so scared of Murray taking the ball up the line.
Well, that's true. That point, though, the first time that Gonzalez is unloaded on a first serve, I think he will need to do that more often. Do you think that part of Gonzalez's strategy in this match is to get into a lot of extended rallies early on in the first 2 sets? Because certainly it is a bit warmer today than it has been, certainly a lot more humid. Gonzalez, the stronger athlete physically, certainly.
I think you might be right. It may possibly be in his mind, but another stunning return from Murray gets the game back to juice.
But of course, tactic doesn't work very well if you don't get to a 5th set.
Good. Yes, sir.
Gonzalez gets a massive break there. So Murray still with his 5th break point in this game, but first serve for Gonzalez. Oh, I thought that lob was in.
A very late call.
No, not the one he overrode, the next serve. That one's well out. No, the next one, not the first one.
Matches can be decided by such calls. Mohamed Leani won't probably be receiving a Christmas card just at this moment, but a long way to go in this match for him as well.
No, he'll probably wait till December before he sends it, right?
Right.
Use.
Such a pivotal game now. Murray with so many opportunities to give himself the opportunity to serve for the set. Gonzalez just seems to be a little down on himself and wonder whether he's still dwelling on those couple of breaks that he's already had in the set and finding himself in all sorts of trouble again. There it is. The trademark Murray forehand does produce the breaker serve.
Well, a very interesting tactic here from Gonzalez. Takes the early ball, hits it hard down the middle, and comes in behind it. What are you thinking? Because Andy Murray will eat that up all day long.
So 40 minutes gone. Murray serving for the opening set. And that's always a solid play against Gonzalez. If you take it hard into his backhand and come in, he rarely goes cross-court with that shot.
Love. 40 love.
Gonzalez gave his racket the treatment, and he waited 1 point to then go to the chair to change it. He probably won't be using this next one for too long either, considering it's 3 set points to Murray.
I was going to say, it's a pretty strong frame. He gave it a good whack.
There it is. Well, Murray was down twice in that opening set, but he's turned it around. And the number 17 seed here takes the opening set off the number. It's the first set of tennis that Gonzalez has lost at this year's US Open.
40 love.
5-set matches are marathons, but Gonzalez just at the moment just seems a bit flat. But that should raise his spirits. A love service game at the start of the second set. And I guess
that it adds up to that much. I think Andy just naturally, as you can see, the winners against unforced errors there in greatly favoring Murray, but the experience that Gonzalez has, sometimes, you know, if you have a lot of experience and you've lost, you know, it doesn't really reinforce what you want it to.
15. 30 love. 40 love.
Oh, that's a little special.
Yeah, because both of those returns from Gonzalez were deep. They were soft but deep, but Murray certainly finding his range now.
Immaculate length, immaculate touch. And a couple of love service games for Murray back to back. That's 10 points in a row now for the Scot.
Second set.
Yeah, and it's this sort of tennis that really has a lot of fans excited about the potential of Andy Murray, because we know he's a great defender, but he's willing to come to net, willing to hit these sort of soft touch volleys, willing to take risks.
It's been a place where Gonzalez has been pretty successful over the years. His 6th US Open, 4th time he's been to the 3rd round. It was also the place that he made his first ever quarter-final back in 2002.
And that year lost a very tight match in the quarters to Shane Schalken. Really grasped defeat from the jaws of victory on that day.
A day that was remembered for Gonzalez hitting 79 winners and exactly the same number of unforced errors. One of the quickest players on tour, and once again Gonzalez wants to play this type of tennis. Murray won't mind at all. Gave him the head fake.
Yeah, I mean, that is not an easy shot. I don't care what anybody says. He made it look just simplistic.
So, in stark contrast to the opening set where both players struggled initially on serve. They're looking strong here in the second set. Gonzalez dropping just 1 point so far, 2-1.
Next year, well, you never know.
Once again, his ability to move from A to B as quickly as he does allows a lot of difficult, potentially difficult shots to look easy. Well, that's a pretty fine pass there from Gonzalez. It wasn't particularly easy, I thought, to get it cross court with that much spin on it.
Yeah, but if you have a forehand like Gonzalez, well, nothing is out of the realm of possibility.
Grew up playing his tennis in Chile against older club members, adults, when he was younger, and said they used to feed the ball nice and high over the net, and he used to get bored, and that's why he developed this forehand, because he just got so bored he wanted to beat them quickly, and it certainly is an impressive shot.
Well, that's an interesting comment, really, because it just shows, even if at such a young age he was getting bored, well, that's who he is. So to try and play this patient game, to try and outwit Murray at his own game, I don't think it is the wise way to go.
Murray's hit a couple of huge forehands, and certainly that has taken Gonzalez by surprise.
Yes, it has. But it has great depth. Yeah, well, that's just a great shot. I mean, ball landed a foot from the baseline. As you say, perhaps Gonzalez not realizing that was a possibility.
Can't bring his forehand to bear often enough in this match at the moment, Gonzalez.
Second set.
And Murray closes the gap once again and levels things up. And Murray's skill level is quite phenomenal as well. It is so high, his accuracy on the passing shots and on that type of forehand as well.
Yeah, there's no question that if you look at Andy Murray, really, he's one thing away from being a contender at a whole lot of Grand Slam events.
15
And that is
physical strength, physical stamina to be able to play 2, 3, 4 long matches in a run. That's beyond him right now.
He may not have to play long matches though. He continues to play the way he is.
Well, I don't know. I think there are a couple of guys out there named Nadal and Federer who just might extend him occasionally. And I think you'd also put Baghdadis in a similar boat to Murray, because Baghdadis certainly has the sort of personality that you could expect to see him in Grand Slam finals quite often in the future.
Wait, please. Center zone.
There's a calmness in this match at the moment that is somewhat surprising with these two volatile characters. You expect a few fireworks very soon.
Yeah, and perhaps the grandstand, the best court to play on a windy day, because it is very, very sheltered.
He makes that shot look ridiculously easy, doesn't he? But there's a little worrying sign there that he held his back.
Yeah, held his back and limped. So perhaps a slight muscle spasm here.
Left for serve.
Well, that was out of nowhere, wasn't it? And that's the thing that Gonzalez can do at times.
15-13.
Murray happy to kick that second serve in now out wide to the outside, because Gonzalez really not firing with that forehand on the return. And early on in the match we saw him try and take a couple of quick ones up the tee on break points, but not needing to do that at the moment. Well-placed second serve.
Yeah, very well placed. Looked like he was going wide at first until the ball curved into the box and nearly on the center line.
Just a little bit of worry there for Murray in that game, firstly with the back and then at 15:30. But he navigates through it pretty sweetly.
And drives this volley with very little spin. Not an easy thing to do when the ball's coming or dropping so quickly, rather.
Just see Brad Gilbert behind him, and next to him, Patricia Ape and his agent. Oof. And that is what makes him so dangerous. Good an approach shot as that was from Gonzalez. He was nearly on the wrong side of the point. Right back at you from Gonzalez this time.
Yeah, interesting tactic from Gonzalez. Rolled that first serve in at 91 miles an hour and came in behind it. Was successful, but I don't know how many times that will continue.
(13-15).
It's been an interesting year in some ways for Gonzalez because he hasn't won a title. He hasn't been to the final of the tournament. Last year he won 3 titles. It's sort of been solid but not spectacular, which is usually the word you describe Gonzalez with. Sort of point Murray loves. And I remember him saying, I would rather have 1 great week and 3 bad weeks, but it looks as though he's sort of gone against that philosophy these days.
Yeah, and perhaps the plan is to rein Gonzalez in, allow him to learn what it's like to play percentage tennis, and then he can always go back to his spectacular style. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Fine first serve there from Gonzalez, and a very undulating opening set is replaced by a very steady second set. No break. Murray's got the new balls.
Love 15.
First double of this set, 4th overall for Murray. Is an awesome pass from Gonzalez in this situation, and it lights up the crowd.
Yeah, and really a sensational point from Gonzalez all around, because at one point early on he was well out of position, and instead of whacking a forehand as he always used to do, just pushed it back deep, gave himself time to get back into the point, and that was the result.
Not by much, but it was enough. It was enough to leave Murray facing 3 break points.
15, 40.
This is the first break points of this second set. And Gonzalez takes it, and he turns to his supporters on that side of the grandstand, and they give him back what he just delivers as well. A stinging forehand from the Chilean that leaves him serving for the second set.
Well, Gonzalez always has a strong traveling troupe of supporters. Of course, here in New York City, they'll have an even larger following.
Gonzalez leads 5 games to 3, second set.
It's been a strong set on serve for Gonzalez. Can he maintain that when the pressure's on? Dropping just 4 points on serve. Recognised the situation quickly, got him there quickly, more importantly. Got himself there, sorry, more importantly.
Yeah, and Gonzalez now on a roll. Really just riding the wave of momentum. Look at that face. He believes.
Inexplicable miss in many ways from Murray, but he was trailing already in this game, and now the Chilean with 3 set points. Got to question what Gonzalez is thinking on set point when he's doing that, but hopefully for his sake it doesn't come back to haunt him, but Murray won't mind. Gonzalez leaves it, and we're set all in this third round match. We thought it might be a classic, and that's the way it's starting to. Naomi today, a British junior girl out here, took the opening set in her match, 7-6.
Potts.
Now that he's lost the point, he won't be best pleased with that overall.
13-15.
Well, he's swept 5 or 6 of those forehands away for winners.
20-15.
A surprising lack of intensity in some ways from Gonzalez after that second set.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost as though, okay, I start a new set and I'm going to start over and I'm just going to play my patient game again. Why wouldn't you just continue in the same vein that you finished the second? He was on a roll. He was whacking winners. He was intense. He was playing unbelievable tennis. So don't you just try and ride that wave until it starts to crash?
I mean, that's what you would have thought, and there's some of this crowd on grandstand enjoying this one. He's made quarterfinals of 2 other Grand Slams in his career, has Gonzalez, apart from the 2002 US Open, 2003 Roland Garros. Yeah, it's a nice point for Murray to win. Gonzalez, though, really didn't do enough of that volley.
Yeah, this was a shocker.
15-all.
Just push that ball to the open court.
In that quarterfinal in 2003, lost to Juan Carlos Ferrero in 5 sets, 6-4 in the 5th. It was some match. And at Wimbledon, surprisingly for some on the grass, he made the quarterfinals before losing to Roger Federer in 2005. Well, at least that's Gonzalez being able to read that shot. He just perhaps knew it was coming.
Well, perhaps a sensational touch off this half volley from Gonzalez. That is not an easy shot.
Looks even tougher in slow motion. Oh, that was would have been a nice point to take, wouldn't it? There's a little bit of needle down there on the court. You can just sense the tension between the 2 players. It's not quite in the same sort of league as the Roddick-Murray clash in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it really, or certainly I haven't noticed it from Gonzalez's perspective. He seems pretty calm so far.
Well, there's the trade-off, isn't it? Gonzalez rips the backhand, but he knows by doing that he gives Murray the pace to use just to guide the ball up the line. But Scott this time unable to direct it into court. And here's an opportunity perhaps brewing for the Chilean. That was a pretty vital forehand to make.
Yes, it certainly was.
15-13.
First serve out wide, only 103 miles an hour, but did the trick. Don't know if there was wind there or what, but Gonzalez way off balance in attempting that forehand.
Fantastic running from Murray and hustle, but what tennis from Gonzalez.
Yeah, and this backhand on the rise, almost a half volley, really. A little safely, but did enough.
So the first break point in this third set goes to Gonzalez. He's lost serve 3 times by doing that. And to be honest, Gonzalez hasn't really connected well with his forehand return on the second, so you could question whether it was actually needed. Came second in the US Open Series, did Fernando Gonzalez behind Andy Roddick. Murray was third. Gonzalez could earn up another $500,000 if he were to win the US Open. Just drifted it wide. Dangerous times for Murray.
30 love.
Extremely.
And that's the change-up that he can do at will.
Yeah, and it appears right now that Gonzalez just fresher than Murray at the moment. He's taking the ball earlier, and Murray a half a step slow now.
So a racket change for Murray, making Gonzalez wait. Didn't really put him out of his stride at the moment. It's relentless from Gonzalez.
Gonzalez leads 3-1, third set.
And Murray having to try and fight off some consistent brilliance from the Chilean.
Yeah, no question. The last 6-7 games has just been all about Gonzalez.
He's been burnt a couple of times with Gonzalez taking on the cross-court forehand.
Yeah, well, now it's appearing as though the Murray forehand up the line that he has been so successful with is starting to get him into trouble, forcing him to do more running than I think he would like at the moment.
that's the danger he's posed every time you go there. And that's why he has so much charisma as a tennis player, because it gives the fans something to really enjoy and revel in when he produces one of those.
Yeah, it's almost as though he was just pushing the ball back. I know you're going to hit it to my forehand one of these shots, and I will be ready.
And he finally scores with a big forehand as well. Everything going Gonzalez's way.
15-14.
And in some ways, because Murray hasn't made any of those big second serves on some of the big points, Gonzalez is not afraid to keep running around it. And Gonzalez breaks for a second time in the third set. He's on fire right now. The Chilean fans and flags waving brightly here in New York at the moment. A legitimate place. Gonzalez legitimately ahead 4-1 in the third.
15 love.
Well, we can't write Murray off in this match, but clearly has a lot of digging to do.
Yeah, and also a good court for him to play on. This is the court that he was 2-1 down against Andre Pavel last year, came back. So some good memories for him, which is always nice at a tournament. It's actually been fascinating how he served Murray today. And although we had our doubts early on, it's actually worked very well, hasn't it? Very low pace, out wide to the forehand, and he's making him move all the time. Another solid point. And is this the stage of the match that Brad Gilbert was talking about beforehand? Murray just needs to do 55 all the way and just hope that Gonzalez, you know, comes off this peak.
Well, I don't know. I mean, right now, Gonzalez going a whole lot quicker than 55.
Well, it's been a beautiful blend of tennis that Gonzalez has brought to this court today.
Yeah, and no question about it. The way that Gonzalez has played in this third set, this is probably the ideal that Larry Stefanki envisioned. Build a solid foundation and then use your explosiveness off of that foundation. Pretty impressive performance over the last 9 or 10 games from Gonzalez.
Where would you put Gonzalez in terms of movers on the tour?
Well, he's certainly top 10. No question about that. He's a great athlete. Moves very well. And when you combine that with his explosive shot-making ability, a lot of potential.
Gilbert pointed to his hat and a signal that means keep it together, something that he did with Andy Roddick. And he was in there in the midst of battle, and Murray doing a good job of keeping it together in that last game. Although he's got a long way back in this third set. Set out, he'd like to do it here, I'm sure.
15 love.
Fourth ace, just the second of this set.
Love.
No problems for Gonzalez. A couple of aces, 3 set points. Seen him given up on the last point in the previous Murray service game, and they're just sort of having a swing. It seems as though his experience over the years definitely allows him to play 5 sets quite comfortably. He doesn't seem to burn off too much unneeded emotional energy. Thought it was wide, personally. Mohamed Leani just indicating to the linesman more than anybody that the ball's out, but I think Murray was telling him it was a lot closer than that. Two set points have gone for Gonzalez. 1 left. Well, he played a sloppy point at 40 love, did Gonzalez, and it may well come back to haunt him. Maybe not. And he's really changed that up pretty well, hasn't he? The slow serve out wide at times, and then a few bullets down the middle.
He served superbly throughout this match.
That's an impressive end to the set in the end for Gonzalez. A little wobble there and allowing those 3 set points to go, but it is the number 10 seed who has a strong grip on this third round match. He leads. And that actually is a pretty sound tactic with the way that Gonzalez has been returning off that backhand side.
Yeah, exactly. Force Gonzalez to hit over his backhand return from time to time.
Deft touch, and Murray looks invigorated here at the start of the fourth.
Well, he's certainly gone to the adrenaline pump, hasn't he? He has to start out well right now, or the match is over.
Out. 40 love.
Milani has been jumping in quite frequently in this match. Can be a little unsettling for the players.
Wow.
40-15.
What a counter-punching backhand from Gonzalez, because Murray's forehand was big and nearly on the sideline.
Murray keeps Gonzalez off balance.
First game, 4-7.
Really stepped on the accelerator to make something happen, as we see those stats.
And interesting though, Patch, almost to start the fourth set, Gonzalez has put the governor back on the engine, hasn't he? He's really just played a very calm, almost nondescript game on Murray's serve.
Which he did at the start of the third.
Exactly. Very easy matches in this tournament. Here it is Sunday.
14-15.
Tennis is a year-round sport, so if you can't pull yourself together, I mean, it's not like he played 7 tournaments in the summer, right? He played 3 tournaments since Wimbledon, or 4 since Wimbledon. Sorry.
Game, Gonzalez.
He is getting such an acute angle on that serve.
1 game on, 4-7.
Well, I'm not quite sure what Mammy Lucy's got to do with Gonzalez, but I'm sure somebody might want to ask him afterwards. He's pushed it wide. That's a massive point for Murray in the context of this set. And he lost it down love 30, and he's definitely struggling for a bit of inspiration at the moment.
Interesting, though, to look at Andy's face. Brad Gilbert's supreme positivity perhaps has not yet rubbed off on Andy Murray.
Good serving when he's needed it.
14-15.
Nice exhibition of his skill, his control of a tennis ball. Gonzalez was threatening, but Murray very much alive here in the fourth set. 2-1. The Yankees as well, building a new stadium, so plenty of construction as you'd expect here in New York. But Pete, you're somebody that knows this city very well. Do you know the one thing that you don't have in this city?
No.
It's a public swimming pool.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, East River's nice.
ground easily. It was good punishing pressure there from Gonzalez. And in the end, I think the wrong choice of shot.
Yeah, wrong choice and certainly poor execution.
Well, again, a smart shot from Gonzalez. I mean, it was a big first serve. Murray using the pace, but then Gonzalez not trying to just ratchet it up even more, pushed it back.
Murray then attempting a winner when well out of position. Murray has found no answer for that wide serve from Gonzalez. That last serve only 90 miles an hour, but Murray just chipping it back, and Gonzalez from that point on in control of the rally.
Murray moves so well, and it was going to be virtually impossible, even though Gonzalez made the ground, to get enough on it to beat Murray for pace.
Yeah.
Murray covers behind the drop shot as well as anyone. At 6'2" and agile, not easy to pass.
Right to the line, and a good reaction from Murray with the clenched fist.
Ooh, just on the edge of the line. Gonzalez wasn't certain.
More than that, he was convinced it was out.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter what he thinks.
It's okay, it's okay. Love.
And once again, and that's a confidence-building game as well for Murray on serve, with a couple of beautifully struck forehands. Can he build on this after the changeover? In fact, he hasn't had a break point since that opening set, which again just underlines how well Gonzalez has played.
Love.
A couple of nice backhands from Murray, but maybe just a little too safe for the approach shot.
Yeah, and
40 love.
Short, pretty much down the middle. I don't know, perhaps not expecting Gonzalez to go cross court, but certainly not ready for that shot.
Yeah, that's the little small things. If you rush Gonzalez on his backhand, because of the way that he hits it, he he has to almost hit it up the line. But if he has time, he can take it cross. Not sure what happened there.
14-15.
That was just a return he was not expecting, but didn't even take a step.
And perhaps Gonzalez there trying to edge his way around to hit a forehand.
Okay.
That is pretty special, that serve. It's not easy to do, to generate enough pace on it to keep it moving away.
3 games on.
Yeah, and perhaps he's going to force Murray to move in and when returning the first serve. And all Murray has to do is move in a little bit and crank a few of those forehands cross court. He will change Gonzalez's thinking.
15 love.
Well, that's well played by Murray once again.
It certainly was. Gonzalez's approach shot landed in the corner.
13 love.
The one prior to that one, Murray did superbly.
He gets some nice shape in that forehand, doesn't he, Gonzalez, to curl it in, give himself a little extra margin for error.
13-15.
Well, he's found a nice rhythm on his serve, and 2 hours now played in this match, and suddenly Murray can see the finishing line in this fourth set, and it could mean potential defeat for Murray, or it could see us go the distance to a fifth.
You know, at what point does he change tack here? I mean, Gonzalez has absolutely destroyed him with that short, wide serve.
No, I agree with you. I think he has to just take a couple of rips at it, doesn't he, to put some sort of doubt into Gonzalez's mind about that particular strategy. And he's done it there, and he saw the serve very early, did Murray.
15 on.
Yeah, which is why you see how well he can hit that shot. So we know he can hit it. Why on earth is he going with a chip so often?
Well, he said to himself, make one, and he certainly has made a big one there.
It's been a while since we've seen Murray make a backhand up the line winner.
And suddenly everybody's believing that Murray can turn this match around. A couple of wonderful returns.
30-14.
Well, you have to hand it to Gonzalez. I mean, that's a pretty courageous serve when you're not, just to roll it in, to have the confidence that you're going to win the baseline point. Didn't get that far. Murray couldn't make the return.
Gonzalez.
His favoured tactic on serve, once again drawing the return error from Murray. That was a bit of a park shot from Gonzalez.
I mean, is that a 10th stroke or what? But it certainly did not produce the result he was hoping for. Barely reached the net.
Murray's so good at soaking up the pressure.
And that's the first time I can remember that he's actually won a point. He's chipped that wide serve back. Perhaps Gonzalez just getting a little tight here.
One of the few players that still uses sawdust on his hands at times, and also a synthetic grip. But here, a second break point for Murray in the fourth. And he breaks through. Fantastic effort from Murray. It's been a long time coming, but it was special when it came. And the 19-year-old will serve for the fourth set.
And we've just seen here in this fourth set why, or one of the main reasons why so many people are so high on Andy Murray. He really doesn't know when to give in.
And to aid his cause, the new balls. And did Murray twist his ankle? And he hopped a little bit, but hopefully nothing too serious.
Let for serve.
He shackled Gonzalez in his backhand corner.
30-15.
Seventh double. Such a telling shot, and has exposed Gonzalez at times today.
Such a big time to play it as well.
40-30.
And these are the sort of matches that you build a career around, and potentially, as we saw today with Andre Agassi bowing out. And it's the sort of atmosphere that Murray has revelled in, has raised his game in the past. But so has Gonzalez in his numerous Davis Cup matches, so both well equipped to deal with this one-set shootout.
Final set. Gonzalez to serve.
Murray takes the first point of the fifth set.
Love 15.
So important, these first couple of games of the fifth.
And another misfire on the forehand from Gonzalez, and he's in trouble early.
And this is where we'll see how rock solid Gonzalez's confidence is right now.
And it's looking pretty fragile right now.
Interesting, Gonzalez had 2 or 3 chances on balls that were relatively simple. Sitting there, easy shots to whack them, and he just hit the touch. And then when he was off balance, he tried to hit a winner.
There's a break early in the fifth for Murray. It was conclusive, it was pretty comfortable, and Gonzalez is rocking at the moment. A set of tennis that both played well, but Murray took his opportunities, as he has done in the start of this fifth.
15 love.
Murray now, the man on a roll.
Left.
Gonzalez really looks fragile mentally, doesn't he?
30 love.
No question. Murray can just keep rolling along, get a couple of games under his belt here. This match is his.
40 love.
No doubt he lost his way a little bit from the middle of the second set through the third set, but all credit to him. He has recovered well.
Box. Okay, Murray.
Yet to drop a point.
It's interesting, Petch. You know, when Murray started the fourth set, it was almost like he said, you know what, I need all hands on deck. There's no place here for any complaining or anything that may distract me from winning this match. Well, if he had done that in the second set, in the third set, this match might have been over an hour ago. A straight set victory.
Generally, when you see Murray in this mood, when he sort of got his opponent on the ropes, doesn't often throw up those sort of unforced errors. Keeps forcing them to press, and Gonzalez looks like he's sort of let his shackles off and is trying to unload on a few forehands, which may play into Murray's hands. He has raised his game when the danger was around.
15 love.
It's interesting, Gonzalez no longer dominating behind his serve.
What a shot from Murray.
And only Nadal can claim to defend as well as Andy Murray, I'd say.
30
He
love.
hits that shot as well as anyone.
That was a huge point for Fernando Gonzalez in terms of his survival in this match. One
30.
wonders what Larry Stefanki would have been feeling as he saw the wind up for the forehand. You know, in the second and third set and part of the fourth, he had a nice sort of combination of big heat on the serve and then the swinger out wide, but it looks as though he's almost just decided to roll all these serves in.
Inexplicably.
And again, Murray punishing him.
Great play. Murray reacting well, saw that the return was putting Gonzalez in trouble. Quickly into net.
Advantage. Murray.
Murray, the tougher, and to be honest, at the moment, the fitter. And Gonzalez with a huge mountain to climb. Double break to Murray in the final set. 3-love.
Well, I think we can see what Gonzalez is resolved to do.
Love 15.
Time to wrest control back once again.
Love 30.
Can Gonzalez get one of those breaks back quickly? Had a lot of success serving wide to Gonzalez's forehand. But hasn't had that many powerful returns off his first serve, that is.
Sergio.
There's a look of disbelief from Gonzalez, but he's not going to get an overrule from Mohamed Layani. And the bottom line is his best shot has not worked well enough in this final set.
Oh, that was a terrible error.
40-30.
He was trying to do nothing more than put the ball back in play.
There it is, 4-love. And surely that's the end for Gonzalez. A wonderful fight back from Murray. 7 games in a row now
Final set.
for the British #1. And he looks well set to make the 4th round. And if he does go on to win it, no doubt his critics will be becoming smaller in number in terms of his fitness. And his appetite for the big matches.
30 love.
Well, yes, yeah. But you're right. I mean, he has done well. Certainly has not physically looked exhausted at any point in this match. At the end of the third set, though, you have to say there was something definitely wrong. Whether that was just an emotional or mental sort of letdown.
Gonzalez at least gets his campaign started in this final set, but it is Murray who is well ahead.
Love 15.
He was love 30 in the last game, was Gonzalez.
Love 30.
And his agent, Patricia Ape, is also from Chile, so I don't think he's got divided loyalties in this one, I'm sure.
Ooh, dodged the bullet there. As Gonzalez reached that drop shot in plenty of time.
He's had a lot of success going into that forehand side, hasn't he? Times he's been burnt with a few from the baseline, but once again, more than happy to take it to Gonzalez's strength. But again, the key to Murray's success so often is his unwillingness to play the same tactic too often. His retrieving skills are second to none, maybe to Nadal, as you said earlier, Pete, but once again, the frustration getting the better of Gonzalez.
I wonder if that made him feel better. Made me feel pretty good to watch that.
40-30. Congratulations, use the racket, warning Mr. Gonzalez.
Why? What'd I do?
Net for serve.
He's had his back against the wall in this match, but he's come out fighting in every single situation, and Gonzalez in this final set has had simply no answer to Murray's magic.
It's 5-1. Final set.
I think we're going to get another treat for the racket.
Love 15.
He may not like it, and he may stand there for as long as he wants, but nobody's going to change that call.
Is that a point penalty?
30 congratulations. Usable point penalty, Mr. Gonzalez.
Well, the reason he's given that is because he's done it about 4 times already. I think if that had been the first time he'd slammed the ball out of the stadium, then he probably would have been a bit more lenient.
I don't think Gonzalez can have much of an argument with it.
Although he's going to have one.
Two-point penalty. The ball was out. The ball was out. It was 15 over. He doesn't know anything. When you make a mistake, you don't know anything. I make a mistake, point penalty, warning, everything. What score? Tell me the score. Tell me the score. What score? That 40? Tell me the score. What score now? Okay, I missed the point. No. No. It was not 15, but that ball was out. That ball was out. The ball was out.
I'm not quite sure what Gonzalez is fighting about here, because he's down 15-30, and that's the right score.
He doesn't know what that is. He don't know anything.
Probably wouldn't want to be
15-30, sorry.
inside his head at the moment.
Well, no, Mohamed Layani had said, no, the score's love 40. That's why Gonzalez was so angry. And honey, seeing his mistake, 15-30.
He's found a way, Murray, when lesser players may have folded in a similar situation.
15-40.
But once again, his mental fortitude, when it was right on the line, has seen him to this point. 2 match points.
Yeah, stick a fork in him.
13-40.
The last shot of defiance that Gonzalez has done.
Well, the crowd who was so pro-Murray at the start of this final set all of a sudden feel as though some sort of injustice has been done to Gonzalez. Which, to be honest, it hasn't. And they're right on his side now. Well, it's been a pretty fascinating ride with Andy Murray over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. It's never been dull.
Hughes.
It's so good. What an outrageous winner.
Murray covers so much court. Seems to just have a knack of being where the ball is.
Hughes.
Gonzalez has suddenly found the fight that seemed distinctly lacking at the start of this final set.
Advantage Gonzalez.
So a chance here for the Chilean to at least force Murray to serve it out. Which he does. Almost looked as though he stopped. He thought the serve was long. Gonzalez in a pretty bad frame of mind and in a pretty bad situation as well.
Release 5 games to 2,
in his final set. And he's still only 19 years of age. There's one.
15 love.
And in doing so, can continue his relentless march up the world rankings.